And welcome back to me channel. Unless you're new here, and then just welcome. My name is Rusty, and this is me channel where I talk about my favorite movies, mostly horror, and my favorite music, mostly metal. And first, a personal update. I made it out of the hospital. I didn't have COVID. I had picked up a bronchial viral flu variant, of which supposedly there are thousands, and I picked up a nasty one that I wasn't prepared for. Neither was my body, and it damn nearly killed me. So, during the recovery, I have really found a lot of comfort in lowbrow cheese and B-Movie Sleaze. I've just had a lot of fun with that. That's the whole point of those films, is to be fun. And, come on. That's why I don't like critics and reviewers and stuff like that who have, everything's got to be The Godfather, or it's got to be, Rosebud, or, Citizen Kane, or, it's got to be something like that. And they have no room for anything else. Well, I like all of those movies, but I've got plenty of room because I love movies. And sometimes I just want to have fun. Boys just want to have fun. So, yeah, and that's all it is. So, I kind of thought, you know what? Why don't you go for your collection and pick out 20 of the sleaziest Grindhouse B-movies that you adore, and rank them. And so that's what I'm going to do. What's the criteria? Well, relatively low budgets, universal dislike for, pretty much all but one of them, except for cult film fans, Grindhouse fans, B-movie fans, real film fans who have an actual diversity of enjoyment with film. And, so we're going to kick it off with a honorable mention of Dead End Drive-In. In a dystopian future Australia, a health nut and his tag-along girlfriend become trapped in a drive-in cinema that has become a concentration camp for delinquent youth and immigrants. This is from 1986, and this is the Arrow remaster of Dead End Drive-In. Comes with the reversible cover and all that. It will be in my June update. So, I absolutely love this movie. It's like Mad Max on steroids locked in a theater. That's what it's like. And I love the outfits. I love the cast. I just love how crazy it is. Everything about Dead End Drive-In definitely checks all of the boxes. And it definitely is Mad Max in a drive-in cinema. It's just great. And this release is just great. I'm glad they remastered it. So many movies like this need to be remastered, and I'm glad they did it. So our honorable mention, Dead End Drive-In, the Arrow remaster. And moving on, we're going to start the actual list. Deep in the ice of the Antarctic, a team of geologists uncover an old Nazi laboratory still intact where dark experiments had occurred. In order to conquer the world, the Nazis created modified sharks who were able to fly. And in 2020, we got to see them in Sky Sharks. With a very beautiful 3.6 rating, which, they can all fuck off. We have Sky Shark. Now, I think one of the most interesting things about this movie, it's so fun. But, first of all, it's pretty long as well, an hour and 42 minutes. Nazi zombies and flying sharks, what more could you want. I totally agree. I have a nice, healthy stack of Nazi zombie films. I do like my Nazi zombies. I don't really care too much about the shark part, but these are actually cool. Now, one thing, like I said, that freaked me out about this movie was how in the fuck did they make the special effects on this budget? You know, I think they like had some people they were friends with who like gave them a big break because, as weird as it may sound, this cheap little indie grindhouse Nazi zombie movie has got some of the best special effects. I mean, the CGI in this movie is shockingly good. It is not what you would expect. It's not what I expected. You know, I'm like, you know, the CGI in this movie is like very, very well done. Like very professional. The sharks look kick ass. You know what I'm saying? The sharks are like really kick ass. And yeah, so number 20, Sky Sharks. If you haven't seen it, it's full of the coolest Nazi zombie fights and sky sharks, these big, giant, great white looking things. But they look so cool. They're so zombified. They're like cyborg sharks. And of course they're CGI. But that's what I'm saying. The CGI is so ridiculously good. It is just not what you would expect in a movie like this. So yeah, that's Sky Sharks coming in at number 20. And now we're going to hit a little bit of action. Bounty killers compete for body count, fame, and a fat sack of cash. They're ending the plague of corporate greed and providing the survivors of the apocalypse with retribution. This is the age of the bounty killer. So, bounty killer is just amazing. I mean, this right here is so true. The Road Warrior meets Kill Bill. That is like so accurate a line about this movie. The action is absolutely amazing. You know, he is such a cute sugar cookie, and I'm sure the guys really get into her because she is just badass as hell. This is also an extremely something that would like be unexpected. This movie is so gory it beats like most horror movies. I mean, there is so much blood and gore in this movie that, you know, it's not a traditional horror movie, but when you've got that much blood and gore, and the only thing keeping it from being a horror movie is that it's like an action movie instead, it's pretty interesting. So I think horror fans can really get into this, especially the tribes are pretty cool as they try to find that guy is so damn funny. But everything about this movie is hilarious. Like I said, it's from 2013. It is amazing little B-movie, and they did it so well that it makes my top 20. And all of these have been watched by me in the last week and a half. Or 2 weeks. Yeah, in the last 2 weeks as I've been sick, I've watched every one of these. They are comfort movies for me. They take my mind off of everything, and that's what you're supposed to do sometimes. You know, films where you can unplug your brain and just have a really good time, and that's exactly what these are. So, at number 19, we have Bounty Killer. And staying in sort of the same vein, three bad girls who travel to a remote desert hideaway to steal $200 million in diamonds from a ruthless underworld kingpin. And for that storyline, you deserve a bitch slap. This is bitch slap unrated. I probably have done a video on this too. But This is actually a very long movie. It's like an hour and 50 minutes, and it's kind of like not what you expect. And I think a lot of these are actually. But you don't expect these short run times for B-movie cheese, but this is amazing. This movie has so much intense action that it is just, you're exhausted after watching this movie, especially after the last 20 minutes, because the twists will throw you across the room. You're like, okay, no way. I did not fucking see that coming. That is just too much. And this chick and this chick, they participate in what I consider, I'm pretty sure it's got to be the longest movie fight in history. I'm talking a good 9 to 10 minutes. Non-stop, kick-ass, violent bitch fight. And I guess a lot of people would go, well, how can you have a 10-minute fight scene? I mean, how many times can you hit a person without killing them? Well, that might be true. However, you know, when you add in a whole lot of duck, bob, and weave, and I think I've won, then you get your ass beaten, no, you haven't won, and you think that person's down, but then they stand right back up, you know, it's that kind of thing. And it is just the coolest thing ever. I have been trying like hell for a long time to get the Blu-ray of this, and still haven't managed to do it, but I will eventually. You guys know me, and you know I will get what I want eventually. That was Bitch Slap at number 18. Now, we have coming in at number 17, we have Death Proof with Kurt Russell from 2007. Definitely Grindhouse, definitely crazy when two separate sets of voluptuous women, whatever, are stalked at different times by a scarred stuntman who uses his death proof card, parentheses, quotes, to execute his murderous plans. Death Proof, and what's weird about it is I went looking for the Blu-ray. Like, I'm like, okay, grab Death Proof. I looked all over the damn house. I couldn't find the Blu-ray. I'm like, wait a second. Are you telling me that I have never upgraded Death Proof to Blu-ray? Well, we'll take care of that next shopping trip. But, yes, so Death Proof. This is the unrated extended version of Death Proof. And I absolutely adore it. Now, it does have a high score for one of these kind of movies. It does have a high score on International Movie Database. It's 2 hours and 7 minutes long because it's the extended version, I guess. Or is that the regular version? And this one's even longer. I don't know. But in any event, it's a long movie, and it absolutely kicks ass, as you can tell by my reaction to it. I do think, though, that the reason it's got such a high score is because, you know, it's Quentin Tarantino. And so his fans are just going to click 10 on everything, I guess. But that's okay, because it definitely deserves its score. You know, with me, it's like an 8.5 out of 10. So, and y'all know what would be needed for me to give it another point. But yes, that is Death Proof. Some of the fantastic car scenes, fantastic kills, absolutely great. Kick ass from the word go. And that comes in at number 17. Now, as I told you earlier, the Nazi zombies would be back. And this is 2012's Nazis at the Center of the Earth. When researchers in Antarctica, we're back in Antarctica again. Too bad they didn't find the sky sharks this time. But the researchers in Antarctica are abducted and dragged underground by a team of Nazi survivors planning the revival of the Third Reich. And we have Nazi zombies, of course. Again, this is a very good special effects, a very good story. It's got Jake Busey in it. Dominic Swain and Jake Busey. But I actually love this movie. I mean, it is like absolutely fantastic, which is probably why it's got a 3.1 on International Movie Database. So, you know exactly what part of my body they can kiss because they're wrong. They're just wrong. So yes, Nazis at the center of the earth. Once again, what are all the Nazis doing in Antarctica anyway? I mean, you know, Sky Sharks and this movie are like, you know, do zombies like the cold? Aren't they already cold? Maybe that's why they don't notice, right? They're dead. I never really thought about it, but yeah, I guess if you think about it, the zombies are already dead. So they wouldn't mind the cold of Antarctica, would they? It'd be the perfect hiding spot. Maybe somebody should go down there and check around. This shit could be real. You know what I'm saying? So, Nazis at the center of the earth. I love that spaceship. It's so cool. But yes, absolutely fantastic movie. It's great. If you're into B-movie sleaze, this is definitely one you have to have. I have so many, but like I said, I just picked out one in the honorable mention. And coming up next, we have a movie I recently featured. I think it was in that other movie that everybody hates that I love. I think it was in that video. But we have Cabin Fever 2, Spring Break. Now, if you don't know what Grindhouse is, and if you don't know what B-movie sleaze is, you just haven't seen this movie. Because unlike the first movie, and unlike the third movie, they decided to take this into Gutterballs territory and make a complete slapstick gore fest, Grindhouse gore fest. And that's exactly what they did. I'd love to get this on Blu-ray too. I don't even know if they have a damn Blu-ray release for this. This is Evil Dead 2, fueled by raging teenage hormones. Yeah, it's just... I know that last scene, like with the stripper and stuff, that was the grossest fucking thing I had ever seen in my life. And I say that quite often in this movie. So yes, Cabin Fever, Spring Break, Cabin Fever, Spring Fever? It's right there in front of me. Cabin Fever 2, Spring Fever. Maybe they should have called it, well, you know, they're talking about a fever. I mean, that doesn't flow very well, though, does it? Cabin Fever 2, Spring Fever. You're using the same word twice. That's never good in a title, but I guess I'm just bitching. So, a high school prom faces a deadly threat, a flesh-eating virus that spreads via a popular brand of bottled water. Because, you know, they get it from that river where the guy died in the first movie. So that's how this all transpires. So they're actually connected, 1 and 2, just very loosely. But, yes, gory, silly, funny Grindhouse sleaze is definitely this right here. What's next? From 1986, a group of friends travel to a wilderness area to play a survival game. Soon, they unexpectedly find themselves in a real-life survival situation. Dawn of a new breed of heroes. It's the Zero Boys. Crazy, insane, sleazy, low budget, fantastic. Now this one actually topped 5 out of 10 on International Movie Database. At the moment it's 5.2. This is the Arrow remaster. Beautiful booklet. This is a region free. Absolutely fantastic. So that's Kelly Maroney right there. She's from Night of the Comet, of course. So this is her other big one, along with what? Chopping Mall? Yeah, Chopping Mall was the other one. Because, she's like, that's her, like, trilogy, her horror trilogy that she's so famous for is Night of the Comet, Chopping Mall. I think it's Chopping Mall. It's the one with the robots in the fucking mall. You know what I'm talking about. And the Zero Boys. So the Zero Boys, I love the kills in this movie. I love the action. I love the whole atmosphere. It's our time, It's an 80s movie. And it's absolutely fantastic. Just everything about it is cool. I hate the way, like, Arrow never puts, like, pictures from the movie. They never put, like, screenshots on the back to show off. The Zero Boys. Cool as hell. And that is... What number are we at? That was number 14. Now at number 13. Coming up at number 13. From 1991. A master of disguise, deranged killer, begins killing off college students who are organizing a horror movie marathon in an abandoned theater. What is that? Give me a big old box of popcorn. This is Popcorn. He's back for an encore. Absolutely fantastic, cheesy movie. This release came with a cool, well, that's their usual catalog. Who did this? Synapse. This is like Synapse, I guess. Synapse Films. I don't have hardly anything by them. Or Vinegar Syndrome either. I got a few Vinegar Syndrome. I really don't like those boutiques myself. They are just rip-offs mostly. Hi, here's a movie for $35, and if you pay us another $20, we'll give you the slipcase. Yeah, fuck you. So, this is Popcorn from 1991. Absolutely fantastic movie. Dee Wallace is in it, of course. So, any Dee Wallace horror fan has got to get it to have her catalog. Jill Sholin, Tom Villard, Derek Rydell. Cheesy, schlocky. Special effects are, like that. Like you would expect. But I'm really glad that somebody did do a remaster of this movie. Because it is absolutely great. It's a great movie to have in your collection. It is definitely one of those that you can unplug your brain and have an absolutely fantastic time with, But this has got lots of special features in it, so it's very cool. And that comes in at number 13. Now, if you keep wondering why I'm going away, it's because I've got like May's update sitting over there, and I've got like June right in front of me, and then over here is the stack of movies, and it's like some of them are in those updates, so I have to go pull them out. Now, moving on, coming in at number 12, 3 children are born at the height of an eclipse of the sun. 10 years later, they begin to murder the people around them, even their family members. Why? Because it's their bloody birthday. I'm giving you film nuts out there a chance to guess the movie before I say it. That's why I'm doing that, in case you're wondering. That's why I'm sounding like one of those, movie intro people in its trailers or something. The nightmare begins with the kids next door. Yes, this is the Arrow remaster. I do have it on DVD, but I'm keeping the case and all, so the DVD is still over there and will be put with it. Usually I put the DVD in here to save space, but I'm keeping that because it's a very rare movie to come across. So I'm really glad that Arrow did a remaster of Bloody Birthday. Bloody Birthday was released in 1981. I think it's fantastic. I see a lot of cult film lovers have hit International Movie Database. So it's got a 5.7, so that's pretty good. But yes, it is very schlocky. Yes, it is very cheesy. Yes, it is very gory. And yes, it is very cheap looking. And that's what's so fantastic about it. And it's only going to get worse as I go along. I mean, y'all are going to get sick by the time we get to number 1. Because you're going to just be like, oh, this dude, he is just like insane with his movie tastes. But you remember, I love Meryl Streep and British TV, and I have Scarface, and I have the entire Godfather collection, and I even have Citizen Kane. I love, high-tone movies, but I also love film, and I like to have fun. So I've got a lot of these as well. And that is Bloody Birthday. Coming in at number 12. Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker. And coming in at number 11, a boy kills a man and accuses his twin brother of the murder. And the innocent brother ends up institutionalized, while his psychotic twin goes free, acting all normal, until 10 years later. The innocent twin finally escapes, which triggers his brother into a new killing spree, because it triggers his blood rage. So Blood Rage was released in 1987, and it is fantastic. I still want to strangle that mother to death, though. I mean, tell me, if you have seen this movie, please tell me that you did not want the mother dead. Not because she did anything wrong, not because she's a bad person, because I just couldn't stand her whining anymore. I'm just like, kill her. Kill her, mommy. Kill her, mommy. It was just too much. Oh my god. But yes, this is Blood Rage. Interestingly, this was actually filmed not too far from here, like about 200 miles that way. So it was filmed around Jacksonville, Florida. So yeah. I absolutely love this movie. I absolutely love the kills in this movie. I love the 80s cheese atmosphere of this movie. I love everything about it. And you should too. It's got great gore. And I like these stories. I like these simple little B-movie stories that are silly and, people are probably think I'm not hard to please, but I am hard to please. If you're going to do bad, you got to do bad real good. And if you do good, you got to do good real good. So I'm actually hard to please, actually. Actually. Kinda actually. Yeah, actually, I am. And that was number 11. And that was Blood Rage. Now, we're going to step, like I said, I think it's interesting that even in this day and age, there are still people making B-movie cheese. And that was proven to me recently by Cocaine Bear. Now, Cocaine Bear is probably, I guess, the newest in this 20 list, It's from 2023. And I was amazed at how it just kind of slipped right in, to this thing, this genre, this sub-genre, sub-basement genre of B-movie cheese and sleaze and silly ideas and over-the-top acting. You just have to check all the right boxes, and you have to do it in all the right way. And I will give Elizabeth Banks a hell of a lot of credit, because how do you make something this good and call it Cocaine Bear? You know what I mean? It's just whatever. So, come on. You cannot possibly tell me that bitch and her beaver jokes all the time is not fucking hilarious, okay? Everything about this movie is hilarious. But at the same time interesting, and at the same time gory, and at the same time stupid, but at the same time really, really smart. I mean, it's just fantastic all the way around. So yes, an oddball group of cops, criminals, tourists, and teens converge on a Georgia forest where a huge black bear goes on a murderous rampage after unintentionally ingesting a whole lot of cocaine. Now, who the hell comes up with an idea like that except an expert B-movie lover? You know what I mean? And who's going to watch a movie like this except their fans? And I'm one of them. So, Cocaine Bear comes in at number 10. So that's going to conclude our part 1 of this interesting little jaunt. We have Dead End Drive-In as the honorable mention. Sky Sharks from 2023. Bounty Killer from whenever I said, 2013, I think. Bitch Slap from 2009. Death Proof. What was that, 2007? Nazis at the Center of the Earth, 2012. I remember that. Cabin Fever 2. Spring Fever. And I just said that without saying Spring Break, which is probably the first time ever. We have the Zero Boys. Popcorn. Bloody Birthday. Blood Rage. And Cocaine Bear. So hilarious. And I will be back in just a few to make you even sicker, because you know, if that's the bottom 10, the top 10 has got to be really, really bad. I don't care what you think. They're fucking masterpieces, each and every one. I'll see you. Always remember, you're a very special person, no matter anyone. You are a very special person, no matter what anyone says. If they tell you any different, they are lying. And yeah, love you, miss you. Bye-bye. And I'll see you in the next one. Hopefully I'll be back to doing regular videos soon. I do feel a lot better. But it definitely did it. It definitely worked me over. So I will talk to you in the next. Bye-bye.